Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today we are watching Geishu Ishoku and I'm terribly sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Now he is in the Minotaur, a tier 10 British cruiser. He is on the map Loop in a 3-point domination game mode. And it's obviously a tier 10 battle. There is no carrier around, there are quite a few destroyers. And most enemy battleships are tier 8. So that's nice if you're in a squishy cruiser. Now the team has decided to take points Alpha and Bravo, and it looks like everybody is complying so far. So that's a good start. The destroyers will very soon arrive in the capture points and might get some spots off. Now the Minotaur has quite decent concealment, and it does come with smoke. So you can see the Minotaur here is moving together with the destroyers. The armor piercing of the Minotaur can be quite effective against destroyers. The British cruisers only have armor piercing, but they get less bounces and less overpenetration, so it can be quite nice against destroyers. And he has a nice little island here to take some cover behind. Now there is quite a sizable enemy force here, he has to be careful. The British cruisers come with a very strong heal, but well, you need to be alive to heal back up. And he's opening up against the enemy Fletcher. And you can see he's scoring some okay hits with his armor piercing. The Minotaur has a very good rate of fire. She comes with 5 double-barrel turrets, but the guns are only 152 millimeters. Yeah, the sheer amount of shells you can put out can really make people hurt. And as you can see, he's getting decent hits against enemy destroyers. Now, he's reversing here, he hasn't popped his smoke yet. There aren't enough people shooting him, and this island provides some decent cover against bigger enemy ships. Now the friendly team managed to capture Point Alpha, and there seems to be someone undetected shooting him from Point Charlie. Now he has to be careful if he reverses here too much. He's in the line of fire of some nasty ships. And yeah, here come the shells. He is trying to get back into cover. Now the friendly team isn't that aggressive, but they are at least in a somewhat forward position. Now it looks like they are losing Point Alpha. There was a destroyer there who took the point, and I'm not sure what he is doing down here exactly. Maybe he can do something against this battleship, hopefully. And hopefully some of the friendly team will be able to push here into Bravo. Now the Minotaur is in a very forward position. He's using his smoke now because, well, he can't afford to get shot by those people. The Minotaur, yeah, he doesn't have a lot of armor. So you really gotta be careful if you're taking hits. And there goes one enemy destroyer, and he just took a massive hit. Now he has used his smoke, he is sitting inside the smoke, but people can still try to hit him inside. Oh, he's once again reversing. He really needs the island on the left. That's one of the main reasons he can stay at this point, because it protects him from a large part of the enemy fleet. And yeah, he is slowly whittling down this North Carolina. And he is detected by radar, which is pretty bad. Now the islands still provide him with decent cover, but this North Carolina could really hurt him. Meanwhile, the team has lost Point Alpha, but I have taken Bravo. Even the battleship has now pushed in here, which is great news. And well, the enemy is unspotted because if we unlock the camera, we can see here the friendly team is sitting in the smoke. The tier 10 battleship is here at the front line, which is nice to see. The friendly destroyers have provided him even with smoke. And while the team does a very good job at taking here the center point, that's the only point they have, unfortunately. Now there is one battleship trying to take Alpha, and there is a cruiser who might be supporting this battleship. But I'm not sure if he will manage that, although it looks like the enemies are in retreat, and there is still a destroyer who... I don't know what this destroyer is doing, like there isn't a carrier he can hunt. And yes, meanwhile, our friendly Minotaur here has sunk the enemy battleship, and the enemies are pushing here from behind. He is still detected by radar, which is very inconvenient. Now he is hoping to get some good torpedoes against the Bismarck, and here we can see the single launch feature, so you can basically make your own torpedo pattern. I think most of these were launched pretty optimistically, but this lone torpedo looks rather promising. Now he is going forward, he doesn't really want to fight the Bismarck, and the Lo Yang, he has launched her torpedoes. But I think he can manage to dodge those. And you can see the armor piercing does really hurt this little destroyer. Unfortunately for him also, he has his smoke ready again, and he is using it to get in some cover. We know there are some pretty big ships here at Charlie, and he really needs some concealment. Also, yes, the lone torpedo he launched earlier did secure him a kill. And he even managed to get a double strike by killing the destroyer with his guns. So it's looking rather nicely so far. They managed to capture Alpha. They are holding Beta, and the enemies are... I don't know what they are doing, but they don't seem to be organized into a big push. Now ship-wise it's pretty even. But you know, if the enemies don't push in, there isn't that much chance. Now there is still the enemy Yamato here, sitting at Point Charlie. If he would rally the team and push in, they could make something happen, I guess. And the Minotaur is using his hydroacoustic surge. And there is a North Carolina coming around the corner, so now he is trying to ambush this North Carolina with torpedoes. And he probably still has the North Carolina selected. Keep in mind that this is a replay bug, you don't always see who the player had selected at that time. And he's prepared to launch his torpedoes and then reverse. I mean, he is currently showing his broadside, right? If he waits until this North Carolina is past this island, he will probably die to broadside. So he needs to reverse back here. The torpedoes are launched once more in a very nice single file pattern, and this North Carolina has no way to dodge them. A very nice kill there. Oh, there is an enemy Minotaur behind him. That Minotaur is, I think, at least somewhat showing drop. No, he isn't. He is maneuvering. Now, Gaishu here is moving out. He doesn't want to just sit here and be shelled to death by an enemy Minotaur. And there is a Hindenburg who is somewhat showing broadside, but there is also the enemy Yamato. He has smoke ready. He immediately uses the smoke. You really don't want to show your broadside to a Yamato. But, well, it looks like the Yamato is connected. Now, he was obviously playing at some point since he moved to this position, but he either rage quit or maybe had a connection loss. Now, I mean, at this point, it's looking pretty much like a win for the friendly team. Now, the Yamato doesn't seem to be a danger at the moment, so he immediately switches to the Hindenburg when she's revealed. And yes, taking out the Tintenberg is obviously a priority. Now do keep in mind that the Yamato has very powerful long-range secondaries. Now we don't know exactly how the Yamato player has fitted out his Yamato. But the secondaries are certainly something to keep in mind. But I mean, if the Yamato isn't moving, he's an easy target for torpedoes. And with the single fire launch, every one of those torpedoes will hit. Unless, I mean, this player, like, he could reconnect if he just had a disconnect. And the Yamato secondaries aren't shooting yet. So he might have no upgrades to the secondary range, or it's possible that he has manual secondaries and obviously can't select the target if he's disconnected. Oh, now the Yamato secondaries are opening up, but the torpedoes are almost there, and this is basically a free kill. So only the enemy Minotaur is left. And Gaishu here is at 7 kills already. He had a very nice game. Now the enemy Minotaur has more HP left. And there aren't that many ships here to support him, but he will certainly try to hunt down the enemy. I mean, at this point it's pretty much a win, even if he loses this duel. There are enough ships around, the friendly team controls one more capture zone, they lead by points, so no reason not to chase down this Minotaur. And just look at those shells fly. The Minotaurs can certainly shell an area. And it looks like he gets a lot of damage to his turrets. But I guess it's to be expected if there are so many shells incoming. Now the enemy Minotaur is making a run for the zone wall, which, well, only serves in prolonging the game. But no, he got tired of sailing away and has decided to end this. Now he's showing his broadside, which will probably result in his demise. And there we see some Citadel hits, and there is the kill. Let's take a look at the results. Eishu Ishoku managed to get 3,554 base experience, and he certainly played very well. He spent the game on the front line, mostly using one giant island as a cover, and ambushed some people with his torpedoes, knew when to use his smoke, and basically kept his guns blazing away, and showed the might of the Tier 10 British cruiser, so the armor piercing only can certainly work. Now, Geishu Ishoku managed to get 8 kills, and he got himself Confederate Double Strike, Kraken, Devastating Strike and High Caliber. He managed to score 274,000 points of damage, so certainly very well done by him, and it was truly a pleasure to watch this battle. I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I'll see you guys next time.